The survival run.
To the final of this year's World's Strongest Man competition. Each year, not only do we bring you the excitement of the competition, but we also take you to some great locations. And this year is no exception. The Statue of Liberty, the Empire State Building. We're in Las Vegas. We've been in the desert for some really nail-biting heats and some big surprises. The reigning champion Magnus Samuelsson didn't make it through, along with last year's second and third place men. That means we're certain to see a brand new World's Strongest Man this year. And I'm here in one of the most famous streets in the world, ready to explore all the glamour and glitz of a city that never sleeps. And as for Paul Dickinson, I haven't got a clue where he is.
Isn't that absolutely typical? There's Philippi with all the glitz and glamour, and here I am stuck in one of the seediest joints in town, but with me I have all of the men who want to be called World's Strongest Man this year. How you doing, guys? Now, there are 10 of them in all. There are 8 who qualified from our 4 heats, and we have our 2 Americans who came through from their own Strongest Man competition. They're all going to take part in 8 massive tests of strength to decide the overall title. Now, the point-scoring situation is very simple, unlike some of the gambling games here in Las Vegas. If you win an event, you get 10 points. If you come second, you score 9. And then it's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 if you come last in an event. Of course, the man who accumulates the most points will be the winner. And the man who can withstand the incredible physical and mental pressure the best will certainly hit the jackpot here in Las Vegas and will become World's Strongest Man 1997.
Jouko Ahola is in the final for the very first time and is one of the smallest men here. His performances in the heats were a big surprise to everyone. Raimonds Bergmanis is in the final for the 2nd year in a row. The Latvian super heavyweight weightlifting champion is in great shape. Derek Boyer represents Fiji with a lot of passion. In the heats, he looks stronger and fitter than ever before, and that spells danger for the rest. Chief Iron Bear Collins carries his heritage with great pride. He's one of the most experienced men here, and that should give him a real boost. Svend Karlsen's Viking power carried him through the heat with ease. Norway have never won this contest, but this man gives them the best chance ever. Torfi Ólafsson carries on Iceland's great tradition in the final through legends John Paul Sigmarsson and Magnus Samuelsson. What a pedigree. Heinz Ollesch is Germany's great hope for the title. This giant of a man perhaps has his best chance ever of fulfilling his personal dream. Philippi is a professional strength coach with his home here in Nevada. Local support should give him a big psychological edge. Flemming Rasmussen finished just outside the top 3 in Mauritius and looked awesome in the heats here. That means his confidence is very high. Finally, Magnus Samuelsson's goal in life is to become the strongest man in the world. His determination will always be a danger to everyone else.
This is the state line between California and Nevada, crossed by Interstate 15, a highway used by tourists and truck drivers alike. If you've ever wondered what happens to those huge American trucks when they break down, here's your answer. But what happens if one of these things breaks down? Well, if you've got one of our competitors nearby, you'll be absolutely fine. In a traditional start to the World's Strongest Man final, our men pull this 23-ton truck all the way down the 25-metre course. It's an intimidating event, especially for first-time finalists.
You're up against a tough bunch of guys, aren't you?
Yeah, I sure am. Got my work cut out for me. I've seen them. They're all good. There's no slouches here. You know, some of the favorites got knocked out, but there's good guys to replace them.
Are you looking forward to it?
Yeah, very much, especially today, because it's too good event for me today, and I feel it's important to have a good start. So.
Magnus, you missed out on last year's final. How do you feel about being in this year's?
Relieved. I'm looking forward to it, and I hope I have a good run.
Torfi Ólafsson, the very first man to go, prowling around looking nervous, and Karlsen, a few last-minute preparations. It's very quiet here this morning, but soon the competition is going to explode into life as the final gets underway. Getting hooked up. Very thick leather harness they're wearing. Derek Boyer without his war paint for the first time. So Torfi at 25 stone starts. And it's amazing how a country so small as Iceland can keep turning out these strong men. They really do enjoy these events of power and super strength. He's staying very low, and that's important. He's got to drive the legs. Torfi's going well. He's got about 10 meters to go. He's wearing one of those plasters across his nose to help him breathe. I hope it works. And it's about now the body is starved of oxygen. The step's getting very, very much shorter, and he's beginning to stand up. The front of the lorry must cross the line, and that truck is grinding to a halt. The bumper's got about a foot to go. There goes the hooter, 77.48. Oh boy. And Torfi is absolutely shattered. Flemming Rasmussen locked on. And he actually said he was looking forward to this competition. It's a real strain to get it started. He's stuttering just a little bit, wearing ordinary training shoes. Some of the competitors are going to be wearing big boots for extra grip. Oh, but he's really beginning to motor along now. He weighs 23 stones, and he's pulling 23 tons. It's an enormous weight, but once you've got it rolling, it begins to look very easy. If he can keep this sort of form going to the line, it's going to be incredibly fast. He's staying much lower than Torfi. It's a wonderful time for Rasmussen, 47.84, 30 seconds ahead, and approval all round. The massive frame of Heinz Ollesch getting ready. He finished second in his heat to Magnus Samuelsson, and that's a good place to watch. What a time it is to beat. And Heinz Ollesch is a very experienced man in these events. And he certainly will have prepared well for this. I've got a feeling he's wearing climbing boots for extra grip. He's got his knees very heavily strapped for extra support as well. There are the boots. He's going along quite nicely. That's Brindis, his coach and girlfriend. He's going to miss out on the lead, I think, but it's still going to be very, very fast. Rasmussen's still in first place. And once again, the last few meters very hard indeed. 53.15 at the moment in second place. A good start for Heinz Ollesch.
You're looking forward to it?
When I see how the guys look afterwards, not really.
What about this first event? Is it going to be a tough one for you?
It's never been good to me before, so I don't really hope for too much here.
Before we see the Norwegian, we can have a look back at four men who didn't complete the course. Raimonds Bergmanis came very close, but came unstuck just 2.5 meters from the line, which eventually put him back in 7th place. The USA's Mark Philippi couldn't really get going at all. Despite his massive arms and legs and a 21-stone frame, he only completed 17.2 meters and would finish last. Derek Boyer looked incredibly psyched up in the heats, but here he was strangely subdued. 21 meters would keep him back in 8th place. And Harold Collins, who was complaining that he was still suffering from the American qualifying heats, held here a fortnight ago. He too felt the 23-ton load was just too much on the day. The result just over 20 meters, and he would finish 9th. Svend Karlsen striding out to the start, but not particularly looking forward to this one. Flemming Rasmussen on the right, next to Riku Kiri, who amazingly didn't qualify for the final, last year's runner-up. Now, what can Viking Power do this time? One thing Svend is not short of is confidence in his own ability. And he's not slow in coming forward. He's got away to a good start. Taking small steps, that's important, and the constant attentions of Nana, his wife. Karlsen has such a desire to win, no matter what the event. And Philippi has certainly learned just how hard this final is going to be. Karlsen getting on with the job and chasing the times of Ollesch and the leader Rasmussen. Well, the Dane is still in the lead, but Svend could go second. He's got to keep driving for the line. 52.55, he's done it. What a showman this man is. The crowd love him. Just 2 more men to go, and it's Jouko Ahola getting ready now.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Now, in terms of body weight, this man is only 20 stones, and actually the smallest man here. But this is the guy who effectively put paid to the chances of England's Bob Weir of qualifying in the final heat. And this man, well, his performances were very gutsy indeed. And after a slow start, he's beginning to accelerate away, straining every muscle in his body. That's Hannelina, his girlfriend. It's beginning to look agony for Ahola. His heart must be racing now. The muscles will be tightening up. And these last few yards once again are the worst. It's painfully slow. Over a minute now. He looks absolutely shattered. There's about an inch to go. 68.69. That puts him in 4th place. And Jimmy and Marshall just helping steady him. The doctor is there too. And Hannelina looking concerned. Magnus Samuelsson, the last to go, the tallest man in the competition at 6'6". Ahola getting back some precious oxygen. Samuelsson guaranteed to put on a good show.
You keep your fingers crossed.
He did a very good truck pull in the past. He got the guts.
He's going to need some guts to win this one. And already Magnus gritting his teeth. Those massive arms are bigger than a lot of people's legs. He's moving well. He could do with staying lower. That's Kristen, his wife. Samuelsson moving very well now, about halfway up the course.
He hasn't finished yet.
I'll tell you what, it's going to be very close. He must keep the momentum going, and he can definitely challenge the Dane. He's slowing a little. Rasmussen has won it, but the Swede is in second. What a finish to event 1.
A disappointing start for the Americans, but Flemming has a new wife in Denmark, and she'll definitely be joining in the celebrations.
Flemming, congratulations, a great start for you.
1 down and 7 to go.
Now it's the log lift, and the competitors going in reverse order from the result of event 1. Mark Philippi, he's got a lot to prove now. The log is 105 kilos, that's about 16.5 stones. And I'm sure because this man is a good weightlifter, the first few will be easy enough, but once fatigue sets in, then the fun starts. He gives a little push with his legs there. Mark is obviously very fit and strong. He's trained a lot of strong men in his time, as well as being a fine athlete himself. His wife and family are here too to support him. They'll be shouting for Dad somewhere in the crowd. He's going very well, that's 6 so far. He's got a 60-second time limit, so speed is very important too. He's just over 6 feet tall and a very, very solid 21 stones. He's an extremely stocky figure. He's obviously tiring now, but this is a much better performance than in the first event. That's good, he's got 11, but he may be running out of time. Yes, he has, and a rapturous cheer for the American. When we've seen this competition before, there have always been two logs and the competitors lifted side by side. But all of the athletes insisted they use the same one. So while we're watching Derek Boyer, we can also see Chief Iron Bear, Harold Collins of the United States. And Collins knew that he had to pull something out of the bag here. Like Mark Philippi, he hadn't got the United States away to a particularly good start in the truck pull where he finished 9th, but he was really flying on this one. Derek Boyer came 8th in the truck pull and by contrast was looking sluggish. But perhaps being a couple of inches taller, he found this event more difficult. Because of the time limit of just 1 minute, we certainly got the impression that this event could be won or lost by a very slim margin. The faster you could keep going, the more chance of victory there was. Collins was really piling on the repetitions and heading comfortably towards a respectable total. Boyer, a little way behind and beginning to feel the strength flowing away from him in this intense heat. The will to get that one extra repetition from these guys is staggering and so vital for the extra points. Boyer finished with 9, but Harold Collins' total of 12 put him on top of the leaderboard. Raimonds Bergmanis was next, and this man fancying his chances here because of his expertise in weightlifting. And we can have a look at the Icelander Torfi Ólafsson and just compare the styles of the two. There wasn't much difference between them, but surprisingly it was Torfi who was the faster. Bergmanis still a comparative novice at these strength events despite being in his second final. He finished 9th in the Olympic Games super heavyweights in the snatch and the clean and jerk. He certainly had better weightlifting technique, but in terms of raw strength, Ólafsson had the edge. Torfi Ólafsson, a great beast of a man, weighing in at over 160 kilos. Towards the end of the 60 seconds, though, Torfi was fading fast, whereas Bergmanis just kept grinding out the repetitions. Almost a case of the tortoise and the hare. Once Ólafsson had reached 10 repetitions, he tried for one more, but it wasn't allowed by the referee. Bergmanis was finishing with a flourish. He tried to go for the 11th, and he almost exited stage left. And amazingly, both men finished on 10.
Is that all right, Heinz?
No,
Now,
like,
can you beat 12,
I hope so, I have to.
which is the title that's been set so far?
I never did this, but I hope I can do so.
Next up was Jouko Ahola of Finland, strapped and bandaged from top to bottom. We can also watch the performance of Heinz Ollesch as well. Heinz on the left, after a good talking to by Philippi, was slower to start. But we had seen the result of Torfi Ólafsson's speedy first 30 seconds, so perhaps this was good tactics. Ahola, lean and very muscular. Ahead on the schedule, just. The Finn really is a remarkable competitor. He's not massive in stature, but certainly has a tenacious character which simply doesn't know when to give up. So 7 times each. Imagine trying to lift a washing machine above your head. Both men level and they know exactly what is required. The lead of 12 by Harold Collins. That's 1 lift every 5 seconds. And both men have it within their sights, but Heinz Ollesch was slowing. Ahola appeared to get a second wind and just kept grinding out 1 or 2 extra repetitions. Ollesch was unsteady. Jouko Ahola had drawn level with Collins in first place.
Good performance though, you pleased with that?
Yeah, very good first day, I'm happy.
Well done.
Thanks.
Magnus Samuelsson strode out onto the stage for his minute of purgatory, and as always, he looked ready to explode. And when Svend Karlsen had the stage, he too was ready to go for the 12 big repetitions. Now, the Scandinavian nations really do love these strength contests. Powerlifting, weightlifting and bodybuilding are all big sports for them. And these two men are two of the very best, not just in their country, but in the world when it comes to lifting, pulling and pushing these huge weights. But Magnus is not a great lover of heaving these logs over his head, 105 kilos. 2 meters tall does make it more difficult, so it was almost inevitable that his score would be a little off the pace. Karlsen was trying absolutely everything to get the log to arm's length, but he too was finding life difficult out there and had definitely lost his rhythm. As we said in the heats, if anybody ever teaches Samuelsson how to lift weights correctly, then he could be brilliant instead of just being very good. But it was Magnus Samuelsson who was going to be upset not to go any higher than 9 repetitions. He was going to end up equal last with Derek Boyer. And Karlsen was dramatic at the last repetition to finish off with 10. Unashamedly, his wife always proud of her man. Now, the last competitor. Leader after the truck pull, Flemming Rasmussen of Denmark. 2 men are tied for the lead, Collins and Ahola, with 12 reps. Oh, well, this is a fast and furious start for Flemming, but can he keep it going? He's throwing that log about as if it was a broom handle, and it weighs as much as 2 8-stone people. Well, he's halfway after only 17 seconds, and that's incredible. Surely he has to start slowing down. He's a little bit off balance now. That one was disallowed by the referee, Dougie Edmonds. He got it there. He's on 11 now. He must be in with a chance to win it. He's equal. It's a 3-way tie. Now for one more. Oh, he thinks he's got it, but I think the referee says no. Oh, Dougie Edmonds has shouted 12. The referee's certainly not the most popular man here.
And so 12, the magic number which no one could beat, and Flemming now has to share his points with Jouko Ahola and Iron Bear Collins.
Flemming, I've got to say congratulations first of all, but what was the problem?
I don't know, ask the judge.
Was he saying you didn't lock out?
Lock out, I was standing 5 seconds with the lock. If I thought that the lift wasn't okay, I could have taken one more.
But despite that hiccup, he's still in a commanding position after 2 events. A 4-point lead over Ahola, with Heinz Ollesch in 3rd place.
Well, this is desert weather for you. It's absolutely freezing cold. Nothing stops our events though. And this next skill could come in very handy of a Saturday morning when you're desperate for a parking space. Car rolling. Even Basil Fawlty didn't go this far. These cars, at the end of their lives, instead of being consigned to the scrap heap, are destined to be turned over by strongmen. The aim of the game is to flip them over through 360 degrees twice and then sprint to the finish line. And who knows, with the Americans being so used to such large automobiles, these could be the smallest cars they've ever seen.
Jouko in 2nd place overall. He's done very well. Heinz Ollesch in 3rd, trying to stay warm.
How are you feeling after the last event?
Well, things like that happened and just have to go on.
You seemed very angry at the time.
Yeah, because it was so intense and I don't care now. We just have to move on.
I think Rasmussen would be very upset if he missed the title by 1 point. However, watch this. It promises to be fast and furious. The first heat between Magnus Samuelsson and Derek Boyer. Derek amazingly in last place overall. Samuelsson in 6th. Now this big lift off the floor is the most difficult part of all. And Magnus is keeping the car rolling so easily. He's ahead and going for the 2nd. This is phenomenal by the Swede. He's going for the line, he punches the air. That is fantastic. Derek Boyer a little way behind. He runs across the line, but what about Magnus Samuelsson? That is going to take some beating.
Magnus, congratulations. That was a very fast time.
Think so.
I think so.
It was a lot easier than track, but I can tell you that much.
And the next pair already, Olleschson on the far side and Raimonds Bergmanis here. Disappointed at being down in 9th place after 2 events, and they go crashing into the car. Bergmanis it is who's a fraction ahead, and the roofs on those cars already beginning to cave in. Olleschson has got the car rolling over well now. Bergmanis appears to be a little bit stuck, and look at this. Torfi finishes in 17.9, he's second at the moment. Bergmanis hit a sticking point, he lost valuable seconds, 23.30, the slowest so far. Mark Philippi with the bandana, along with Svend Karlsen, the Norwegian who's lying in 4th place overall. Now this event may seem a bit crazy, but it's very exciting to watch. Aggression, power and speed are the key factors here, and Karlsen is really flying. He's completed the first 360 degrees, very fast indeed. Philippi not too far behind. Karlsen is on his way though. It's very close to the lead, just outside Samuelsson's time, but he's in second. Mark Philippi will be in 4th place. Some disappointment though from Karlsen, frustrated he missed the lead by a fraction of a second. Mark will have to wait and see.
You missed it by just a whisker.
How much was the
A
time?
little slow. It was 16.59, so you're 0.3 of a second behind Magnus right now.
I'm not pleased with that. This was too slow, much too slow.
Heinz Ollesch over on this side, and Chief Ironbear Collins. Svend Karlsen was really disappointed with his time, wasn't he? And Heinz Ollesch just about kicking the car over. The German is going extremely well. Harold has got a bit of work to do. And Heinz close to getting the final roll over. Now he's got a sprint, 16.76. Just behind Svend for 2nd place. Harold a little bit off the pace. That's the 2nd slowest of the day. Heinz delighted with his time in 3rd place. Magnus Samuelsson wondering whether he can hang on to 10 points. Just Flemming Rasmussen and Jouko Ahola left. Flemming with an outright win and an equal 1st place to his credit so far. It's very close between the two. Both men chasing 16.20. They're both going fast. Rasmussen now in the lead by a fraction. Oh, I think Flemming thought he'd got that one. Ahola's going to win from behind. He gets 5th place. Can you believe it? He beats the Dane. It all went wrong in the last couple of seconds.
Flemming has every right to be dismissive. He slipped down that board, earning only 5 points. Sweden's powerhouse Magnus shocks himself and takes the full 10.
Were you a little surprised because there were some great guys in there?
Yeah, also normally when you go first, normally the cars go faster and faster because they become more around. So it was a long wait to see it.
It's not just the cars that are changing shape, the overall score is 2. Rasmussen still leading, but the chasing pack is closing in.
Jouko, that was a very exciting competition and very, very close. Did you expect that?
Yes, but I'm happy that I beat Flemming. Now he have only 4 points more than I.
We're in the middle of a desert dust storm for an old-fashioned strength test that originated in Iceland, the Husafell stone. This weighs 163 kilos, that's 358 pounds. Legend has it that a farmer's wife in Iceland once carried a Husafell stone around and around a sheep pen to prove to the men that she was stronger than they are. No sheep pen today though, just a 50-metre course, and the men have to go up and down it as far as they can. Now, Torfi is the favourite for this. He holds the world record. But if Magnus doesn't get a move on, I wouldn't put it past Christine to pick the stone up herself and carry it, just like that farmer's wife did.
So the overall leader begins the long walk. Bergmanis, Collins, Boyer and Philippi have already gone, and out of that group, Raimonds Bergmanis leads with an excellent 75.17 metres. The weather here was atrocious about an hour ago. It's cleared up a little bit, but the temperature has dropped right down. Well, carrying rocks is a traditional event in strongman, but none is bigger than this. It weighs about 25 stones. That's Flemming's own weight, plus a little bit more. It looks very uncomfortable, doesn't it? He's got a little way to go before he starts making the return journey, and that rock is getting lower and lower all the time. Oh, his forearms must feel like lead weights themselves now. Bergmanis' lead is halfway back up the course, and Flemming Rasmussen is still moving well. Collins only managed 45 metres, and Rasmussen is very close indeed. He just needs a little bit more. Surely he can go further. Yes, he can. A great effort. Oh, it's getting lower and lower, and almost went there. Yes, 82 metres plus. Excellent performance.
Flemming, what's the most difficult thing about this event?
Breathing.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's really blocks for the air. It's really hard breathing.
And you can see exactly why. Jouko Ahola has that rock very high on the chest. It must make taking deep breaths almost impossible. I hope somebody is telling him which direction to walk in too. He definitely can't see straight ahead. Derek Boyer scored 72 metres, that was good. And Ahola very rapidly making 50 metres and gripping the narrow part of the Husafell stone, trying to get a good grip. Rasmussen watching his lead disappear perhaps. The Finn is going very, very well. He's just about there. And yes, he's got it. A tremendous effort. Torfi Ólafsson has just seen the lead extended to 84 metres and 2 centimetres by the Finn. And Karlsen hoping to stick the stone to his chest by the looks of it. Now, in fact, Torfi Ólafsson is the world record holder for this event at over 90 metres. It is a traditional Icelandic event, so he knows it very well. It looks very stable coming down the course, and that's a long way to carry your shopping, let alone a weight 50 times as much. And that's 50 metres gone. It needed a little adjustment, and what has he got left now? Oh, this is a shock. Everybody expected Ólafsson to perform well here. It's a real battle now, and it's gone. It's just over 60 metres and not good points at all.
You're on about the same points as Heinz now.
I better do better than him then.
Yeah.
Hope so, but we never know.
Heinz Ollesch now, and he's half a point ahead of Karlsen and Ahola overall. And in Germany, and especially in Bavaria, rock lifting is a traditional pursuit, and Heinz has done this one before. He's about 58 inches around the chest, so getting his arms wrapped around the stone is almost impossible. He's got weightlifting boots on. Jouko Ahola gripped it a lot lower to achieve the lead so far, and Heinz leaning back a bit, Brindis recording the moment. Halfway for the German. Oh, it's gonna go, and it's gone! That's a big surprise again. He's lost a stack of points here. Magnus the last to go, and Ollesch down the leaderboard. Svend Karlsen, as always, is ready. And what about that resin on his chest? Will it help? Ahola perhaps set for his first win. Svend Karlsen already striding out, and this is fast by anybody's standards. He's got a good grip, that's for sure. Nana pacing him and guiding him as well. 50 metres without any problem, and the grip is still solid. He's slowing the pace a little, but that's not surprising. Gathering points almost with each stride he takes. He's literally hanging on by the fingernails now, and could be heading for the lead. Yes, he does. 86 metres. Here it comes again. Ahola, no reaction, but the win has gone. Just Magnus Samuelsson to go, and I suppose if anybody's got the perfect build for this, it's the Swede.
Svend, you watched Jouko, you listened and you learned.
I think so. It was a big advantage to go in the end here. So, same for Magnus now. I wouldn't be surprised if he beat me.
Really?
But I'm happy anyway now.
And Samuelsson already halfway down the first lap of the course. And Kristin will be around giving him every encouragement. There she is. This is a real team effort. Oh, he shot over the finish line. Come back, where are you going? Even Svend is helping him. The stone is lower now, but the distance is still coming. He's closer and closer to the lead. What a climax. The American crowd are really getting involved, and Samuelsson is still eating up the ground. Past Karlsen, and he's got it. Oh, yes. Great stuff, and a second win in a row.
Available for rockeries or wall building, Magnus wins the second event in a row in fantastic style. The question is, will he keep it up?
No matter what happened in the rest of the contest, I will remember this day.
You look far more confident than I've ever seen you before.
Yeah, because I'm stronger and also not so nervous anymore. You win some, you lose some.
And that win has meant the top three men are just separated by a single point. Well, we reached the halfway stage, and Philippi invited all the competitors onto the world's fastest roller coaster. Strangely, it was only Raimonds Bergmanis who took up the offer. What a way to prepare for the second half of World's Strongest Man.
Welcome to Fremont Street, downtown Las Vegas. This is the old heart of the city, and in 1995 they spent $70 million giving it a new lease of life. That canopy up above me holds 2.1 million light bulbs, covers 5 blocks of casinos, and at night explodes into one of the most dazzling light displays I've ever seen. Well, this is the setting for our next event, the squat, a classic powerlifting event. 5 attempts each at ever-increasing weights. The difference here, though, is that no previous winners have even made it through to this year's final. They call Las Vegas the entertainment capital of the world, and I don't think our guys are going to let them down.
But big problems and emotion from the Karlsens, even before the event has started.
Svend, tell us what happened.
It was too bad of a warm-up and I stretched something in my leg, so I tore some muscle fibers on the side. So I'm not able to squat. I'm not able to load, but I might be able to do some stiff leg deadlift tomorrow.
So you still intend to stay in the competition?
I won't try till I fall down, so I want to try deadlift tomorrow anyway.
That's a massive disappointment for him, and a contender out of the way, it seems, for Jouko Ahola and the rest. Well, in fact, it's Jouko's 4th out of a maximum 5 lifts at 355 kilos. And just watch the intense effort and concentration. He'll squeeze it upwards, slowly, but it's a good lift. Oh, and even a bit of blood from the nose as well, just to prove it's not easy. So more weight will go onto the machine now, from 355 to 360 kilos, 792 pounds. Flemming and the rest putting on a great show here in Las Vegas, but that, after all, is what this city is all about. The spectators have already seen Samuelsson, Ollesch, Bergmanis, Olafsson and Boyer eliminated, and the Fijian the best of the bunch at 342 kilos. So with Karlsen out of the way and Ahola passing, and it's a good lift. If he'd failed that, he was out of the competition, and that was a lot better. Now the Las Vegas man, Mark Philippi, 2.5 kilos more than Rasmussen, and it's just his 3rd lift of this event. and he's been looking good throughout the competition. He's well suited for this event, and lots of experience in the squat, down like a rocket and back up so easily, and this place is really buzzing now. Harold Collins goes through his ritual before each lift, and this is 365 kilos, his fourth attempt, and this will be for the lead. He's a former American powerlifting champion, so he likes this event just like Mark Philippi. The slot machines and the weights on top weigh in at over 800 pounds. Down he goes, he must get the thighs parallel. The judges are conferring, and he's got it.
Good lift.
Harold Collins in the lead, and Mark Philippi with that big super suit. It's like being tightly wrapped up with thick elastic.
Mark Philippi.
372.5 kilos. That's a weight that Rasmussen has passed. So tactics, the key now. Down we go. A big bang on the steel rods, but he's got it. Mark Philippi shows he's got what it takes. That's Mark Jr. and Mrs. Philippi. They've got no doubt at all. Rasmussen now at 380. Oh, gets a punch from Riku Kiri to liven him up a bit. Philippi has got one lift left. So this is a crucial lift for the Dane. 380 kilos is a massive weight. The equivalent to 2.5 times the size of Harold. He's got to make this one count. Oh, he can't do it. He's going to finish in third place. Heavy, that's an understatement. But the overall leader still in good shape. Now, if Harold Collins can get this 387.5 kilogram lift, the pressure goes back to Philippi. If not, the Las Vegas man will win this competition. This is a big moment for Harold. No, he can't do it. Mark Philippi wins 10 points for the man on home territory, and Collins looks injured. He's safe in second place, but he's given us a bit of a scare. 9 points to him, and an American 1-2.
This competition is worse than playing roulette for the Americans. There can be no predictions as Philippi finds his winning streak and Iron Bear may have lost his hand.
Mark, this event has been a big one for the USA, hasn't it?
Yeah, it helped us out a lot.
Yeah.
More what we're used to.
It's brought a smile to your face because it's been a very tough competition for you so far.
Yeah, I knew the first half was going to be, you know, so yeah, I was waiting for the second half. If we could have switched the events around, I might have been a little happier, but you know, I'm just trying to do the best I can in the second half of the competition, and wherever I end up, I end up.
At the moment, though, he's down in 7th place. It's still that man Rasmussen at the top. His lead extended to 3 points, just 3 events to go.
You're 3 points in the lead, though, and that's a very good lead at this stage of the competition.
Yeah, and I think I have 2 good events too left. So this event, I think it's really important to me. The last event today.
I think I can beat Flemming.
You do?
I hope so.
Where will you get the extra points from?
Deadlift.
Well, the precious points may now be won or lost in the keg loading event. Each of those barrels weighs 105 kilos, a massive 16 stone. And just in case you're wondering, they're filled with water.
Svend Karlsen very disappointed to be out through injury, but lending his support to Magnus Samuelsson. Raimonds Bergmanis on this side. 6 kegs in all, weighing 16 stones. It's going to be very tough on the endurance factor here. But look at this, they're really making a race of it. Samuelsson 2, Bergmanis 2. Magnus just creeping ahead a little bit. Oh, that barrel's gone off for Samuelsson. That's a big mistake. So, Bergmanis might not realise it, but he's gone ahead. That's the one that fell off. So the Latvian has got a good chance here. He can really score well if he can keep it going. Just 1 more to go. Samuelsson is going to be kicking himself. But Latvia is coming in for victory here. 54.73, Bergmanis delighted. Samuelsson struggling with the last one, and he's got it 61.84. A little wry smile from Magnus.
You guys are definitely not built for endurance. You're too big.
Try it.
No, thank you.
No way. Or maybe I would with something half as light as this. Now it's Derek Boyer and Torfi Ólafsson. And Derek Boyer sprints away. I'm not sure Torfi Ólafsson likes running very much, but Derek Boyer is pretty mobile. Derek Boyer's second barrel coming very, very quickly indeed. Ólafsson has got to get a move on. In view of the way Boyer competed in the heats, he's going to be very disappointed with his performance in the final. But where's the war paint gone? Ólafsson, puffing and blowing. Boyer is flying, he's got 2 to go. And Torfi Ólafsson, 3 to go. I think the leading time is going to be safe. Derek Boyer is running out of time. Oh, a little bit of hesitation there. You can see how much he's slowed down. Torfi just plodding along. It's safe there. Now come on, Derek. You need a good performance. The crowd are really cheering this man. Up we go. Oh, he can't do it. Ólafsson is coming from behind to win it. Yes, 74.15. Can you believe it? But Derek Boyer still struggling with the last one. I don't believe the crowd realised just how hard this is. Ólafsson is shouting, up, up, all the way. The crowd now realising just what agony this man must be in. He can't do it. Oh my goodness. A moment of pure sporting drama. Mark Philippi and Harold Collins have finished this event. Collins, injured of course, managed just 1 barrel. Mark Philippi 5 in 67.49. Torfi Ólafsson finished all 6. Now for the top 2. Rasmussen on this side and Ahola. This could be a real grudge matchup. Flemming top ever since event 1. Jouko chasing and gaining in confidence all the time. And Flemming away, very well indeed. Jouko looking lean and mean. Every inch an athlete. Both guys going great guns at the moment. There's nothing between them. Rasmussen just creeping ahead, if anything. A little glance across there to Ahola, but he can't shake him. Both men are going very fast indeed. Rasmussen the bigger of the two, but he's the one that's moving the best. He's even further ahead now with just 1 to go. Flemming is surely going to win yet another event. He's looking every inch a champion, 46.06. Ahola not too far behind. Fast enough to stay in second place, and the gap has gone to 4 points.
Well, despite those cheering Vegas crowds, Magnus's mistake cost him dear, but helped Flemming climb back to the top, with Jouko not so far behind.
So we've got blood on the hands. You've got a bottle of oxygen there.
And a big smile.
I don't understand how can he be so fast.
Can you seriously now start thinking about the title?
No.
No?
Not before it's over.
Okay.
See Svend, Collins. Everything can happen.
It certainly can, but with just 2 events left, it looks ominous for Ahola and the rest, with Flemming Rasmussen in such devastating form.
Do you know that in Las Vegas they used to hire bathing beauties to drape themselves around the poolsides of those big hotels on the Strip and attract the customers? Well, we've left Las Vegas, the neon and the showgirls behind now, and returned to the state line, where there are no bathing beauties to distract anyone. In fact, all eyes are on the men for another powerlifting event, the deadlift. And with the Americans being so good at this kind of event, it makes the points really evenly spread. So as yet, we still can't predict anything.
Well, Flemming said anything can happen, and it has. This already his 5th and last lift in the event at 382.5 kilos. If he fails it, he'll be down in 7th place. And Ahola can't wait for the failure. Over 800 pounds in this classic lift. He tries to squeeze it off the ground. It's above his knees, but he can't do it. Ahola surprised, and so am I. Torfi Ólafsson next with a big jump up to 420 kilos. A prodigious 925 pounds, just like a small car. His fourth lift of a maximum 5 attempts, and it's beautiful. Oh yes! How do they do it? A very impressive lift indeed from Torfi. Mark Philippi now getting help with the straps to assist the grip. 425 kilos now. A massive strain on the bar. Ah, and powerlifting, definitely this man's forte. In the lead. That's his brother, and he's delighted. Now Ahola, his fourth lift too, with the same weight. Hanna-Lena encouraging him. I don't think he needs any encouragement. He's really psyched up. Oh, yes. Look at that, so easy. And Hanna-Lena looking more relaxed now. Flemming making the most of his rest. Raimonds Bergmanis out now, 427.5, on the site where he ended up in the pool after winning the Flintstone lift in the heats. He loves this sort of competition. Mark Philippi preparing for his next lift. Ready! Raimonds Bergmanis in a very good position to score highly here. Yes, he's done it. A little hesitation, but it goes up. No time for a swim, though. Torfi now tries 430. 6 men have been eliminated so far. Philippi and Ahola still in the competition, of course. Oh, it's too much. He'll finish 4th, and Bergmanis can't do any worse than 3rd. Philippi now 432.5. Wife Tracy is all of a jitter. And Bill Kazmaier, 3 times world's strongest man, is here watching. Philippi with an enormous weight, and that is going to impress everybody here. There's just 1 lifter left with 1 attempt. And it's Jouko Ahola, just needing 2.5 kilos more than Mark Philippi. It's just like a photo finish in a sprint race. Let's watch this closely and soak up the atmosphere. Oh, so easy in the end, and looking capable of doing even more. 10 big points for Finland.
Quietly confident, do you think? Well, we shall see. Jouko predicted he would do well in that event, so is it all over for Flemming yet?
Now, the deadlift has made a huge difference to the possibility of you winning this competition.
Yes, but I don't know, is it enough now? Because I have to be in 2nd place after Flemming. If Flemming wins, I have to be next one.
For the first time since we started, Rasmussen is in 2nd place. Only he or Ahola can win now. What a finish in prospect to find the new champion.
And there it is, the final obstacle between the men and the titles. So who's the experts' money on?
Ahola.
Flemming.
Ahola.
I think Flemming.
Probably the Finn.
Ahola.
Flemming. Jarmo Ahola.
He's very nervous.
I can't wait for those 2 guys to go. But first of all, it's Raimonds Bergmanis and Colin Bryce, one of the marshals in the absence of Svend Karlsen. And what a final event the organisers have concocted. This 200-kilo weight, first of all, over 25 metres. Bergmanis moving well. Round the giant Hummer all-terrain vehicle. He's got to move this 300-kilo tyre out of the way. Big push there. And now the 3,000-kilo truck over 20 metres. Now Ollesch, Philippi and Boyer have finished already. And it's still Bergmanis pushing for all he's worth, driving those legs. He's got about 5 metres to go. Bergmanis has given everybody a lot of pleasure in his performances here. He finished at 45.87, oh dear me. But that is the lead at the moment. And Colin Bryce did pretty well too. We're now down to the last 4 competitors. Samuelsson on this side. Spectacular at times in his performance. Olafsson on the far side, consistently good. They're in third and fourth place overall. Olafsson on his way. Kristen cheering on the Swede. Olafsson first, that's a surprise. Now for the tyre. These tyres from earth-moving giant trucks. But Samuelsson flipped it over. That was incredible. Now for the last 20 metres. Olafsson just behind by a Carling. Samuelsson, 110% as always. Oh, he's going to get the glory in this heat. He's guaranteed to finish in third place overall. It's certainly going to be the fastest time. Olafsson is just behind, 43.80. Kristen confirms the fact he's in first place. Tremendous efforts rewarded by the crowd. The glory this time goes to Magnus Samuelsson, rewarded by his wife Kristen. What a great effort. This is it. Everybody at the Prima Donna Hotel can't wait to see Ahola and Rasmussen to decide the World's Strongest Man title. It's all come down to the very last event. And these guys have never let us down. Over the last few years, the climax to this contest has been enthralling. Magnus Magnussen's reign is about to come to an end. And in a few moments' time, a brand new name will be acclaimed the champion. Now, Ahola just has to beat Rasmussen. And he's doing it in style at the moment. This is incredible. He's absolutely flying. Rasmussen's struggling a little bit. Samuelsson's time is not an issue here. The main thing is to get points ahead of Flemming Rasmussen, who I think is destined to finish in second place. Rasmussen has definitely blown up. It's Ahola grinding out the last big effort against a man who's led for most of the final. As the sun begins to set in Nevada, it's also bringing to an end Flemming Rasmussen's title hopes. Jouko Ahola has done it. Rasmussen looking dejected in finishing second place overall, but it is his best ever performance. Massive cheers for both men, and Rasmussen goes straight away to congratulate Ahola, who's already been hugged by Hanna-Lena.
And that's it, the strongest men and the biggest sports in the world. And how fantastic for Magnus. Another win bumps his points right up to bring him to third.
Does this make up for the disappointment of last year?
Yeah, because last year I was really injured in my back. But it's no use to telling people that you're injured, because then nobody believes you anyways. It's just to go back home and fix it and come back.
Samuelsson philosophical in third place. Rasmussen a great runners-up spot. And a dynamic finish for Finland's first ever World's Strongest Man. It was a decisive win.
Now, Jouko, just listen to this. You are the world's strongest man.
Unbelievable.
You're Finland's first ever as well. Is that extra special?
Yeah. And I think I'm the youngest forever. I'm 26, and I think before me was Jamie Reeves, 27.
Made a couple of mistakes, and that was Jouko's chance, and he took it, and that's how it is.
The roll of honour is complete. The big prize goes to Jouko Ahola of Finland.
More mysteries next on BBC One with Carol Vorderman.